I need dice.
Well, awesome. We have dice. We have them here. And that being said, we are back, my friends, with the secrets of Hammerfast. As you may notice, we have directed you to YouTube tonight. That's because we wanted to. Let's take that. How do you like it? Enjoy. Enjoy it. I am Ken Breeze, Burlingsbeard. Welcome back once again to our 18th episode. All right. We did it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Still alive.
We did it. And this episode is entitled The Padishah's Dungeon, which is exactly where our characters are. But we'll get to that soon enough. As you know me, I'm Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. I am a concierge DM in the New York City area. Hire me to run your games if you like. And I'm joined by some amazing players. We're going to be playing D&D 5th Edition tonight, continuing our awesome Secrets of Hammerfast campaign. First up, always amazing, we have Kelsey playing Callie. Welcome back, Kelsey.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, here we are. And you guys, you can see. Okay, for the first time, Callie has been depicted in art by Anthony.
Oh
This
man,
guy.
that guy, that guy.
She's so cool. I'm like blown away. Like Anthony super captured her. She's you can see she's a halfling. Um, she's got lots of bags and odds and ends. She's got her kind of tattered cloak from her street urchin days. She throws playing cards, and look at that. She's ready to throw one. And she has her beloved Rimpleton, the teacup pig, complete with crown.
Crown.
He wants nothing more. So there he is. He's so cool.
So it's yes, it's an aspirational crown, exactly.
Dream crown.
Wouldn't you say that we all aspire to some sort of metaphorical crown? Aren't we all at the end, Rimpleton?
We're all a tiny fuzzy pig inside.
Exactly, exactly. Awesome. But what can you actually tell us about Callie? What's her deal? What's going on with her?
She is a rogue and she's pretty sneaky, but she has left her hometown of Orphantown
Orphan
for
Town?
somewhat unstated reasons, but it's possible she never wants to go back there again because someone's looking for her.
Quite
Um,
possible.
and yeah, and she's friends now with these folks that she's met on the road, Allaron and her new friend Eleo, who she enjoys mimicking behind his back because he's so dramatic. He's like so. Um, and she's picked up a little bit of magic along the way from her friends, and that she's just seeking more magic, more fun.
More magic, more fun. I love it.
Yeah.
And Rimpy's along for the fun. Also, we have Anthony along for the fun. Welcome back, my good friend.
Hey,
Hey, hey. Love having you here. And we also love Allaron. Thanks for providing some amazing illustrations. They're great, and we hope you all enjoy them. We're really trying to provide you with a bit of a visual of what our characters look like, our heroes. What can you tell us about Allaron?
Allaron is a brown skinned half male who grew up in a monastery. He. What's so funny?
You said half male. That's all. That's all.
Half elf.
It's cool. Hey, we accept anything that's happening.
All
We
genders.
accept all. We're very yes. Diversity is very important to us.
This is going to be a great game. We're
Yes,
off
it
to a great
is.
start.
Off to a great start.
Okay. Allaron is a half elf
Yes.
who grew up in a monastery and learned to wave the sword in this classic tradition. So he's very. He fights like he's been trained. He's been traveling the road ever since trying to find his fame and fortune and help whoever can along the way. He's
Awesome.
He has a dope helmet that is like reflective and allows him to understand any language. He has a really sick shield with a unicorn on it, and it. Well, we don't quite know what it does yet, but I'm sure when we do, it's gonna be dope. And he has a really beautiful cloak, which he just drapes behind his back over his tortoise shell, which was given to him by Kralki Kralta.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And he is the avatar of the dragon, turtle dragon god. And that is Allaron in a nutshell.
Yep. Your own half shell. And we have, last but not least, Thomas returning once again. Great to have you, bud. Yeah, thank you. And what can you tell us about Eleo? This illustration we were talking about before we started the stream, you made before you ever played Eleo, which is so cool.
Yeah, this is my kind of conceptualization of him, both in how he looks and in his general attitude towards the world and towards the sun specifically. Eleo is a fire genasi who has been traveling the plains in search of something he didn't know quite what, but he came out from his cloudy, smoggy home plane, witnessed the glory of the sun while wandering the desert. And since he's become a missionary of sorts, spreading his vague notions of light and purity and casting away darkness, and it's all very metaphorical, and he's not sure exactly what he needs to be doing, but he is sure that he needs to be doing it. And he thinks these people are decent people. He's willing to help them, help him, help them, reclaim his home / castle / their thing they're looking for. And he's really just, along for the ride and believing he's guided by the greater purpose. Above, somewhere up there. Oh, there it is. Oh, don't look directly at it. That's bad for your eyes.
Don't look directly at the sun, viewers. Do not do what some people do while looking at the sun. That being said, a great segue into what is going on, what you should be looking at, that our brave heroes have been traveling in an underwater castle called Id Othromel, or Sparkly Town Delight in the common tongue. Sparkly Town Delight Castle is underwater, but once it was above the lake that it is now in. The heroes have been searching for a way to get the castle above the water once again. And their adventures have led them to clear out the castle of trout folk, to face off against the ancient leftover denizens who once lived there, as well as face a dragon turtle that the trout folk worship as a god as well. Along the way, they've freed a certain number of allies who have sort of kept a base camp for them in the central tower of the castle. There are 5 towers. The castle is underwater and is covered in muck and in lakeweed. It has a dome that covers the large courtyards that make up the large sort of center area. And so there's air that is magically being created by the elven, fey, arcane, eldritch magic left over from those that used to live there. The castle has been ruined and sank under the lake hundreds of years ago, but Eleo has returned to reclaim it for the summer court, while Allaron and Callie are there to find a dwarf named Glitterdark. They have found Glitterdark and freed him. However, they are all now trapped in the castle and attempting to get it out of the lake. They believe that the key to this is an incantation that will empower a arcane statue that they have recovered. The statue is being worked on by the dwarf Glitterdark. He is a master sage. He is the Lord Sage, in fact, of Hammerfast, a large dwarven settlement to the north. However, they need the incantation from Klaugi Schildkröte, the dragon turtle. And the only way that Klaugi Schildkröte will give it to them is if they give the dragon some important information that it wants. And that information is what kind of creature and who specifically, what name of the creature is trying to take over the dungeons underneath Sparkly Town Delight Castle. For this creature worries the dragon, or perhaps not worries them, but it is a powerful creature that they wish to know about. And as such, we find our characters in the dungeons underneath the Id Othramel, and having just faced off against a number of trout folk. That is where we'll go now. And you can see the chambers that our heroes have opened so far. Last time as well, at the end of last session, you should really go check it out if you get a chance. There were two different things going on. First, Allaron had gone into this secret chamber underneath the water and found a bowl, a magical bowl, as well as a Nereid, a water nymph. He freed her from a fountain, and she was just about to leap into the water when he called out to her in Elven. Additionally, Eleo and Callie, who had stayed behind and were and were in the chamber waiting for Allaron, they heard footsteps coming from the north, and so they weren't sure what was approaching them. At this point, Allaron, the Nereid turns away from you and leaps into the water. What would you like to do?
I dive in after it.
Cool. Eleo, Callie, what are you two doing?
I look up at Eleo and I can see that he's very glowing and bright, and I'm like, hide. And I jump behind some rocks.
I guess what I'm going to try to do is kind of head back towards the stairs we came from. Because I want to get around that corner there to see if I can get to a place where I won't be as obvious.
All right. Cool. And remember, the chamber that you're in is unworked stone. It's sort of whirled, pockmarked, almost as if the sea was here at one point or water was here at one point and has sort of eroded everything. The only worked stone are the stairs and sort of the walls of the upper stairs, Eleo, that you're heading for. But also don't forget that in this room there are a number of corpses as well, trout folk who you have more recently dispatched. Callie, you shove yourself into a crevasse in the wall. However, it is quite dark in here as Eleo retreats and your light source disappears. You are unsure of what is sort of coming. You can't really see anything, you can only hear. The other thing that you hear is splashing coming from the pool that Allaron very recently leapt into. Allaron, you leap into the water after the Nereid. I would need you to make a perception check for me, please.
13.
Awesome. You don't really catch a good sight of her, but you see like her feet kicking basically towards the way that you entered this place. She then disappears from sight. You're not sure where she is. What would you like to do?
I'm going to jump out of the water on the other end.
Cool. So, you have dark vision. When you left this place, there was light here. But as you're arriving back out of the pool that you jumped into, as the fight with the trout folk was going on, you sort of had left your companions behind a little bit. That's not true. I lie. You left after the fight was over. But you left them behind is what I mean after the fight was over. But you thought they were still going to be here. But they are gone. And I need Callie and Eleo to make stealth checks, please. And I need...
That, although he does have dark vision, Allaron also has a coin that I gave him that I cast light on in case he needs the light source.
That is very true. That light source has not been uncovered yet. But thank you for that reminder.
I got a
And
28.
nicely done. And how about for you, Elio?
Yeah, this many.
5. Did you crit it, Callie?
No.
No! That's amazing. Wow.
Level 6 rogue expertise is serious.
Allaron, could you make a perception check for me, please? And let me know if you are uncovering the light coin.
Yes. Wait, no, I don't need it yet, so no, not yet. And I got a 17.
17.
Definitely hear Elio climbing up the stairs.
You totally do. You also hear footsteps coming from the north. It sounds to you like this distinct slap of trout folk feet on the stone. But there's something else that's with them as well, a lighter footstep that you think may have actually been ahead of the trout folk, but has now sort of fallen behind them, letting them go ahead. And that being the case, what would you like to do, Allaron?
Where is the water creature that I followed?
You don't know. You don't know. You do not see her, but you can make an investigations check if you'd like.
No, and this time I'm going to hide up against the wall by the stairs.
Cool. Then I need you to make a stealth check as well, please.
And when I say stairs, I mean the ones that the truffle are coming down.
Cool. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, I critted that.
Burn, 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 burn. Nicely done. That is awesome. So, sort of going over to the stairs, you can see up them a little bit, and it does seem as if the stairs go up to a landing, and then another chamber up there. Coming down, you see a creature along with the trout folk that sort of you have not seen before. And we'll all take a look at this character together. Callie, you also see this character. Elio, you do not. But they are obviously, Callie and Allaron, not seeing you. Neither are the two trout folk that are with them, who are not either armed nor armored. But they do obviously hear someone going up the stairs, and so they are doing that themselves. They're heading that way. Would you guys like to do anything?
I would like to take my surprise round.
Okay, so you're doing something to. What are you doing to surprise them?
I'm going to try to grapple that guy with the long blue hair and the glowing eyes and try to hold him.
Awesome. So you're going to leap out and try and hold him. I love it. Cool. So you, we should all roll initiative. I think that's probably the best idea. Welcome back again to Secrets of Hammerfast, everybody, where we're in the dungeon and we're rolling initiative.
Oh.
Who would have thought that?
Oh man.
Oh man. And
First off, I got a 13.
13 for the Callie.
I got a 7.
Ooh, 7 for Allaron. And Elio?
I got a 16.
Ooh, Elio with the big number. So there is a surprise round. Basically, Callie, you have an action as well, if you would like to take one.
Yes. So here's a question: are they casting light of any kind, or am I pretty blind right now?
They are. You are blind. They do not. They all have dark vision. It seems. So yeah.
So I'm gonna whip a playing card out, and
Okay.
I've been listening in on Elio a lot lately. Every time he casts a spell, and I picked up about half the words he says when he casts light. I'm gonna be like, and kind of like imitate him.
Awesome.
My little card tucked into my hand starts to glow with a light spell.
Awesome. So your card is glowing and you're holding on to it?
Somewhat
Awesome.
surprised I was able to make that work.
Cool.
I guess I'm gonna listen carefully, and as soon as I hear someone draw close, I guess I'll see what I can do then.
Okay, so you light it up basically.
In action.
Yes, what card is it? That's a great question.
I should roll randomly because I probably just grabbed one. Let me see. We're gonna say like one is an okay. So it's a heart, and it's gonna be the 5 of hearts.
The 5 of hearts glows as Allaron leaps out to try and grapple this creature. So go ahead and make your athletics check, Allaron.
I got an 8.
They got a 9. So you leap out, and basically he you can see that he is only has a dagger. He's not wearing any armor. And he's very watery. He looks almost like, whereas Eleo obviously looks sort of like a half elemental of fire. This creature looks like a half elemental of water. You leap out and crash into him. He snaps around, almost like as if he was ready for anything coming into this chamber, and catches you and like throws you off of him. And now we go into rounds. And at the top of the round, this figure, he looks right at you, Allaron, and he says, "You've entered my father's territory. You are not welcome here. I, Hari, will make sure you are gone." And he sort of claps his hands together, and he disappears in like a splash of water, and he sort of the water then sort of leaps, almost like leapfrogs, to nearby the watery pool that you had leapt out of. So he's by the watery pool as he reforms out of the water into himself. He obviously was casting this as a spell. You heard magical arcane sort of language coming from his mouth as he moved his hands. And then as he looks at you again, he points at you, Allaron, as a ray of water fires out. And he is going to be hitting an armor class of 18, which is not enough to hit your sick-ass armor class. As you dodge to the side. It is your turn, Eleo. You are hearing the shouting from down there, and definitely the splashing of water. But yeah.
I'll turn around and head back down the stairs.
Cool. You head back down, and as you come out, you can see the figure in the middle, very sort of maybe about 20 feet away from you by the pool of water that Allaron had jumped into recently. You do see Allaron sort of further into the chamber near the stairs to the north, but he's a little like catching his balance basically, or looking in awe. Alternatively, at the sort of the creature that's forming out of water, you sort of catch just the tail end of that as they're firing their beam of water at Allaron. Callie is nowhere to be seen.
He's attacking Allaron.
Yes, yes, you see that.
I think he's a bad guy. I am going to. Can I see the trap folk yet?
Yes, definitely. They are actually very near to Allaron, probably within 10 feet of him. It looks like this half water elemental made their way forward to sort of see what was going on, and the trout folk were coming up, flanking them to sort of join them. But then they sort of moved away very quickly from where Allaron was.
Okay, let's see what this says here.
Callie, you're next.
Ouch. I'm just going to point my spear and use a sacred flame at this creature because I want to wait to see how the battle develops.
What spell do you call out, or what words do you call out as you call out the sacred flame?
Well, I point my spear at him as the tip glows, and I say, "Foul creature of the dark waters, prepare to be illuminated." This sort of searing, white-hot fire comes out that doesn't seem to care that he's all damp.
Which is interesting because he turns and scoops up almost just naturally some of the pool next to him. It turns into a shield in front of him, and he says, "Your powers have no effect on me. I am Hari Mufti, son of the great Pashtun." And he sort of just blocks your
Oh my.
he blocks Yeah,
My powers have no effect on you.
he seems to block your totally block your flame. As you get the sense that he it remains to be seen whether or not your powers have no effect. But at least this power has had not has
Have no
yeah,
effect
yeah,
on mine.
exactly. You get that sense. Uh,
I've never heard of your dad.
he says, "You will learn his name if you will be in his dements." That's what he says. As he seems very serious. Like you get the sense that this is a point of honor for him. That everything that you have transgressed, and it definitely seems like the trout folk are following his lead. As it turns into your go, Callie.
Okay, so I'm gonna prepare to be illuminated for real and throw my card at him.
Ha! For reals though.
I
As
really mean it.
you go, so you have advantage on this strike because you're hidden. Or well, I guess you sort of lit your card and were hiding it. You rolled so amazing on your stealth check.
Advantage wise. Oh, natural 18 plus 8.
Ooh, that is definitely a success, Rooney. And so yeah, you definitely strike into him with
Alright,
your playing card. How much damage did you do?
let's see. So that's 3. That's 10. So 13 plus 5. So 18 slashing
Wow,
damage.
18 on the die and 18 damage. Yeah, your card
Yeah.
blasts right into his side, and he sort of, as he made this water shield, he sort of just jolted, and the shield just falls down, splashing all over the stone floor. And he looks over to you and says, "Ah!" He says, "Little rat."
Can I use my cunning action to attempt to hide again?
Unfortunately, not. He knows exactly where you are. You cannot hide again.
Dang. Okay.
What would you like to do?
That's it
If
for me.
that's it, or cool, you're still in the crevice. Then you're sort of hidden in there, or rather, you were before throwing your weapon. It is the trout folks' turn, and they do turn upon you, Allaron, as they begin biting you and trying to punch and claw you, headbutt you, knee you. They're just trying to like overwhelm you with their mass and with their physical blows. It'll be 2 18s. And then a critical for the DM. And so with that critical,
That's within 30 feet of me?
Allaron is, I would say he is unfortunately not within 30 feet of you. I'm sorry. He's a little bit further. As you basically you're fighting with these guys and you're parrying them. You're using their shield, and then one of them jumps on your shield, and the other one basically uppercuts you. And as he uppercuts you, you're going to be taking about 12 points of damage. But only about 8 of that is bludgeoning. 4 of it is electricity that seems to jolt from his fist as he connects. You are just your head is rung like a bell, and you cannot take reactions. Yeah, until the beginning, basically, of your next turn, which is right now.
Oh no, indeed.
But the thing of it is as he punches you, he then continues to sort of move away from you, and it seems as if he's running for where Callie is. The other one sticks with you, and it is your turn, Allaron.
I speak. I take a free action to speak to Prince. Stand down, and this fight can cease.
He says. He says to you. He says, "You are known to us. We have heard the tales of how you've killed the Trout Queen, and my father is not pleased."
And with that, I unsheath my blade and aim it for his throat.
Oh, well, you're not next to the prince. You're next to a trout folk right now. Is that who you want to attack, or do you want to risk the attack of opportunity?
I'm gonna risk the attack of opportunity.
Very good. Trout folk tries to punch you in the face and misses as you duck underneath it and rush. You can definitely 30 feet to get to the prince, as you call him. I like that. And you reach him for sure. And he's like ready. He has no weapons or anything. He just has his hands.
What bonus do I get from a charge?
None.
Oh, then I'm just gonna attack.
Unless you have the feet charger.
I do not.
Okay.
I got 17,
That's a success.
and with my second attack, I got a 19 on the.
You are a champion. You're a champion. Very nicely done. Go ahead and roll your damage, man. Unfortunately, there's no sneak attack here because, unfortunately, not. You can't use your 1-2 punch that way, but you definitely land blows upon him.
I get 15 on the first hit.
Nice.
Oh, and max damage for the second hit.
Ooh.
Max damage is 5, 13, 15 damage, 16 damage.
Damn, son. Cool. Yeah, well, with that, you definitely bloody him as you basically just pierce right through his body. He sort of grasps onto your rapier and says, "No, you will not dishonor and defile this place." And he sort of pushes you away, Allaron, as your blade slides out. And then he goes, "Father!" as he scoops up a huge wave of water that seems to come out of the pool and just throws it on you. And you need to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Gladly. 17.
Nicely done. Cool. The water smashes over you and it just hits you like just a ton of bricks, as it were. And you're going to take 12 bludgeoning damage, even on a save, as you're able to keep your feet and not be knocked over, and you're still next to him. But he basically just smacks you with this huge wall of water that then sort of swooshes all over the rest of the stone floor and gets all over you, Callie. You get all wet since you're on the ground, sort of huddled into where you are, and it just like the whole floor is covered in water at this point. It is Eleo's turn.
All right, Allaron, how bad off are you?
I'm not quite bloodied yet, but I'm very close. I'm breathing hard, and there are scratches on me, but no wounds. No wounds.
Okay. Elio is going to hold up his hands, and light is going to flow from somewhere overhead, as if it's shining through cracks in the ceiling that aren't really there, and coalesce into his hands in the form of flames.
Nice.
One at this foul water creature who said it was the son of someone whose name I've forgotten already. He points one at Allaron. He says, "Behold the might of the sun," and then he takes a second look at his hands, hesitates for a second, switches which one is pointed at him. "The might of the sun!" Sacred flame at this water boy, and a healing word at Allaron.
Sacred Flame, what is the save again, please? 14. Reflex is not good. That they do not make their dexterity saving throw. That is a success on your part. Please.
That is unfortunately only 4 radiant.
Ooh, well, you know.
Roll on those dice.
That's how it goes
I am
sometimes.
using only a level 1 slot for this healing word for now. I will put more into it later. Wow, that is also only 4.
I'll take it.
4 and 4. It was fated to be. Callie, the trout folk.
18 and 4 and 4.
That was because I mixed it up at first. I didn't get a square on hit on either of them.
Callie, the trout folk reaches sort of nearby you. It isn't attacking you yet, but it definitely is sort of blocking the hole that you've pushed yourself into. This is a familiar feeling for you.
Yeah, I've been here. I think I am going to. Is it going to attack me, or it can't quite reach me?
It cannot reach you yet.
Okay, so I am am going to fly out of my little hidey hole because we don't want that to happen.
Yep. Ah! You just burst right out.
You're out of fire breath potion.
Exactly. And I'm gonna
Watch
use
last
my
episode.
if only I had one more. I'm gonna use my movement and my cunning action to attempt to dash around this guy in like a wide loop.
Totally.
And I'm gonna, as I'm doing that, I'm gonna pull my little glowing dagger out. Alpha strike and fly at this dude who Allaron is currently engaging in combat.
Okay. Yeah, you're totally able to do that. You basically disengage by leaping out of the hole and going on between his legs, and then run over where Allaron is and use your dagger to attack. Go ahead and make your attack, please.
Attack! Oh, let me roll off this thingy. I have a small rolling tray.
Oh, excuses.
I got a. I got a 25.
That is a success. How much damage do you do as you alpha strike?
So I guess do I get sneak attack damage because
You do. In fact, yes, you do.
So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 piercing damage.
Nicely done. Yeah, you totally alpha strike right into him. So Allaron had just speared him. You spear him, and he's like, ah, but he's still on his feet. And you did Sacred Flame him as well. As a Sacred Flame is exploding him, he's being stabbed. He's trying to stay on his feet. And the trout folk rush after the two of you. Allaron, one of them attacks you, trying to punch you twice, missing twice, but trying to bite you as well, and also missing. Callie, you are also attacked twice with punches. They both land upon you as you take 8 damage from each of them. 5 bludgeoning and 3 lightning. As they're boom, boom. So they do 16 damage to you in total. And then they bite you in the face, but not really. They just bite your hair a little bit as they miss your face. They're like, arr! And your hair is sort of caught and some hair is pulled out, but it doesn't hurt you all that bad. Just hurts your pride.
Well, I am pretty hurt.
As that fish eats your hair. Yeah, you are definitely, I would assume, quite hurt. As they're just beating on you guys and throwing themselves at you. Allaron, it is your turn.
I say to you once again, stand down or die.
Awesome. He says, I could never face my father. Never!
Then you have made your choice. Ooh, the high was an 11.
11? Ooh, are you going to take your 11, Allaron? You know the rules here, everybody. If you roll an 11 on this show, you can choose whether you succeed or fail. But if you choose to succeed, then your next roll, whatever it is made at disadvantage.
Well then.
Lemon.
I'm going to take that lemon and land that hit.
Oh, you land the hit. How much damage do you do, sir?
Oh, man.
Yes.
10 piercing
10 piercing damage.
damage.
All right. Very good.
He's still up.
Yes, he is, in fact. But barely. As you do, you plunge right into him again, and he sinks to a knee, and he says, never will you take my dements from me. Action surge! Oh! You burn your action surge to bring the hammer down.
I got a 23.
That is a success. How much damage do you do?
That's what I'm talking about. I do 11 more damage.
Please describe for us how you defeat this creature.
I knock his foot from underneath him, and I smack him with the butt of my sword.
Nice, to knock him out. Cool! And he just drops to the ground. The trout folk, however, are still in the fight, but it is Eleo's turn.
Alright, neither of these trout folk have been injured, have they?
No, they have not.
Okay. I am going to summon up the, so there's all this water kind of splashed all over the chamber.
Yes.
And I'm going to wave my spear around and little sparks are going to fly out. And sparks are going to glimmer and reflect off the water as I cast fairy fire over the both of the trout folk.
Nice. And it's a 13 save, is that correct? 14. That is a failure on their part. Both. They're both covered. What color is your fairy fire?
So this fairy fire is, it's kind of a glimmering golden white.
Yeah.
Sort of like the fire on the tip of this sphere, but
Yeah.
it's got that kind of refracted look of light passing through water.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of clinging to the entire outside of them, so it's like it's around, like casting in a perfect outline, like no part of them is in shadow.
Nice. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. Everyone has advantage to strike these creatures, which means if you're a rogue, you'll do sneak attack automatically every time you hit them. This is a concentration spell. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm going to assume yes, unless I can figure out otherwise. But let's continue on.
Callie and Allaron, the trout folk fighters, are right in your face. They've been trying to beat you down. It is your turn, Callie. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm pretty badly injured. I'm bleeding heavily, but I'm gonna turn around with my dagger and, for lack of a better option, I'm gonna jump at the guy next to me.
Cool. Go ahead and make your attack.
Do I get advantage?
Yes, he is fairy fired.
I got a 19.
That's a success.
Let me roll. I should have brought more dice with me, so that's 6, 8, 13. So, wow. So 13 plus 9, so 22.
22 damage. That's pretty good hit. He flinches, but then bares his teeth at you like he's ready to rip your spine out. Ah! Anything else you want to do?
I'm going to. I think I can. Oh, there's not much I can do. Disengage. I don't get to move though.
You could move because you have an action, a move action, and a cunning action. You haven't moved yet, so yep.
I am gonna disengage. I'm gonna try to head toward Eleo because
Yeah,
I might not make it
you basically rush 20 feet backwards towards where Eleo is at the bottom of the stairs, where he's sort of stationed himself. The trout folk growls at you and runs right after you, and he catches up to you and Eleo, and he begins attacking you both. Eleo, he tries to punch you in the face, missing. Callie, he tries to bite you in the face, hitting, and doing 4 points of piercing damage.
I'm barely there.
He then tries to punch you in the face, but is unsuccessful. The other one is attacking you, Allaron, and he is unable to get through your armor or land a blow. You are too quick. And it is your turn, Allaron.
Which is the one that was injured?
The one that Callie chased Callie.
I scream out, "Fight me, you cowards! I will defeat you!" And I run after the one that ran away from me, allowing the other one to attack.
He misses you.
I'm going to do a dervish dance and try to slash this creature down.
Burr, 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 burr. Don't forget to double your sneak attack die as well, my friend.
I didn't know you double sneak attack.
Yeah.
That is max. Double. Oh.
No,
Roll the dice.
yeah.
More dice.
More dice. Always roll more dice in 5th
Sneak
edition.
attack is a 21 versus AC.
That is also a success. But you only get sneak attack once. So Callie shows up, and then Allaron shows up, and they're just laying the hammer down.
We have this down.
Yeah, you guys fight very well together.
20 piercing damage on the crit.
Whoa. Well, he's bloodied after that.
And 11 more
11.
damage after that.
Awesome. Yeah, you just smash right into his back, and he basically almost collapses on you, Callie. It's only by grabbing one of the walls is he able to keep on his feet and sort of elbow you off of him, Allaron. But now he's caught sort of in between all three of you. And it is your turn, Eleo.
Okay. Well, this thing's right in front of me, so I am just going to probably stab it with the old spear.
Go ahead and make your attack, please. It's not wearing any armor. It's just a trout folk who seems to be sort of almost like a savage, wild trout folk. Like they're frothing, their eyes are wild. They're just like berserking, basically. Success. How much damage do you do?
I do.
Please describe for us how you defeat this creature.
Okay. Well, I think it's more that I just sort of stab into it in the back and kind of shoulder rush it forward, kind of Spartan style behind the spear.
Nice.
But Allaron's in front of it, basically being a blender, and I kind of just push him into Allaron.
Nice.
And Allaron does most of the work.
And Callie's there too with her own daggers. You guys are all basically just stabbing this creature down. Callie, it is your turn. There is another trout folk berserker who's about 20 feet or 25 feet away from you. The one that had just come after Allaron, but he ran away from. It's there. It looks like it's still berserking.
So I'm gonna flip my dagger in my hand by the blade and then two-handed throw it at this guy.
Nice.
It's so big I have to use two hands and it flips end over end.
You have advantage on this throw because it is fairy fired.
So that's okay. So I got an 18.
That is a success.
Oh, let's roll some dice. Okay.
And
so
you
that's
get sneak attack on this.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18. Wow, I rolled a lot. I got an 18 plus an additional 6, so 24.
Nice.
24 piercing. That was a nice throw.
That's nuts. Yeah, you strike right into it, and the dagger sort of sticks into it, and it sort of coughs as the dagger disappears and reappears in your hand. Ching.
Then I'm gonna scoot around behind Eleo and be like, I'll protect you, Eleo.
Awesome. This creature, the trout folk rushes at you guys and throws itself against you. First, Allaron, hitting you, doing 8 points of damage, 5 blood. It hits armor class of 20.
I'm gonna block that.
All right. Ting! You use your reaction to block that bad boy as he then tries to smash you, Eleo, hitting an armor class of 22. And do.
Warding flare that.
Awesome. He hits armor class of 23 on the warding flare. As you will take 8 points of damage. 5 bludgeoning, 3 lightning. And lastly, he tries to bite you, Allaron, hitting an armor class of 19. And he bites you for 4 points of piercing damage as he finally gets through and is able to scratch your face.
Damn you, creature. You will die.
And it is your turn, Allaron.
I'm going to I'm gonna kill him.
Go for it.
That's a 21 on a die. 21 total.
Mm-hmm.
And another 11.
With advantage, you just got an 11?
Oh, I forgot. I have advantage.
Yep.
You got advantage on everything.
Yep.
The first one again, too, see?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh.
Burn, 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 burn.
We'll say that the crit was for the second attack because the first attack.
Very well. Very well.
And let's roll some dice. 7 plus 14 on the first hit. And 15 on the second hit.
Nice.
Sneak attack on the first one. And
Yeah, you definitely bloody him with that one as you just throw yourself into him and you're just slashing him, piercing him, and he sort of falls backwards. It is your turn, Eleo.
He's right next to me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna use the spear again.
Okay.
Jab against a 19 AC.
Totally a success. How much damage do you do?
They're not built for melee.
16 is a hit.
3 damage.
How much damage?
3 damage.
3? Okay, yeah.
3 is what I said.
Sorry, I missed that. Yep. Yeah, you do sort of stab into his shin as he's sort of focused on Allaron. And it is... It's your turn, Callie.
Elio, are you really tall?
I think
Look at the picture.
You are tall. Well, you're tall compared to me. So
yeah, so we all are.
I'm going to like duck between, like, I can definitely see between your legs. So I'm gonna be like, ha! Throw my dagger between your legs.
Whoa.
I will point out that these robes I'm wearing in the picture culture were before everything I owned got disintegrated by my
True.
brother.
True enough. True enough. Go ahead and make your attack, Callie. And you have advantage on this roll because Elio has fairy fired them.
So I got an 18, so I think that hits.
That definitely hits.
So that would be not such a good roll. So that's 2, so 6, 8. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 14.
Oh, only 14? Yeah, please describe for us how you defeat this creature.
So Elio steps forward with his spear and stabs the guy in the shin, and then a dagger comes flying from behind him, basically, plunging into this thing's stomach, and it falls kind of off the end of his spear and hits the ground with my dagger in his belly.
Indeed. And we return to our map as this chamber goes silent once again.
Kaz's gonna sit down immediately on the ground because she's very wounded.
Indeed.
That was interesting.
I'm sorry, Callie. I tried to get their attention off you, but they seemed hell-bent on attacking you.
You did really good. How'd you get so sneaky?
I picked it up from you.
Oh, I picked this up from Elio and I start casting light on.
You also see that Allaron has something on his belt. You also see that Allaron has something on his belt that you hadn't seen before. Some sort of a bowl, it looks like, or something like that. It seems to have the depictions of waves on its sides, blue waves.
What is that? Where did you get that?
I might have freed some creature that was being held by this magical bowl.
What kind of creature?
It looked like a dryad, but aquatic.
Callie.
Are you familiar with a dryad?
No.
Think a...
I don't mean to distract, but should we do something with our captain?
Let's tie him up.
He did turn into water, didn't he?
Wait, he turned into water when he got knocked down?
No, before that. Earlier.
But maybe if he's tied down, he won't be able to do the proper motions to cast whatever he did to turn to water.
I mean, yes, that would be nice. I'm not sure it works that way, but what do I know? Callie, you're the one who knows things.
Callie, you should make an investigations check first, and then you can make an arcana check.
Investigation is not bad. I got a 21.
Awesome, that's really good. As Allaron's telling you about the Nereid experience that he had, you remember something from the time where you were hiding after you heard the footsteps. It was very dark in the chamber, and you saw Elio going up the stairs, and that's why it was so dark. But the thing of it is that you heard something coming out of the pool, which you thought was Allaron, but now that you're thinking back on it, you realize you actually heard two things come out of the pool. But you just didn't realize it was two different splashes as all this different stuff was going on. And you get the sense that there was another creature that exited the pool in the dark that you did not see, and you do not know where they went, but you know that they definitely exited the pool and apparently have disappeared after that.
I tell everyone this. Apparently they disappeared right after that. I heard someone.
But did this creature attack you, Allaron?
No, it just sort of said it was free and exclaimed its freedom and left immediately without talking.
And the bowl made it free?
Yeah. I maybe should have thought that through a little bit, but I was a little curious.
I'm gonna look at this bowl. Is it some kind of religious object?
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and make a religion check as you start to examine the bowl a little bit more closely. 12. You do not get the sense that this is a religious object per se. It obviously has something to do with water. You get the sense that it it is very well made. It's beautiful. It is ornate. You could see how one would think this might be some sort of a holy bowl for a water deity or something like that. But there just isn't any iconography on here. And usually deities have iconography that depict something specific about them. This is just generally water. But you do get the sense that this thing has a purpose. What that purpose is, you are unsure.
I don't know what this is exactly. It's not holy. It just looks like a good wet bowl that probably does a thing.
Hmm.
So much.
Callie, you can make an Arcana check if you'd like.
Yeah, I wanna try. I got a 10.
Okay. Yeah, it is definitely not religious. It is a bowl. There are tons of different kind of magical bowls. Who knows all the different types of magical bowls that are out there? So many bowls. And so
I'm like, this is totally. What was she holding it when you, or like, how did you get it?
I took it from her hands, yeah.
Did she have it like? How was she holding it?
Upwards towards the sky, and an infinite pool of water was filling the bowl.
I'm gonna. Can I hold the bowl for a second?
Sure.
I'm gonna strike a pose, holding it above my head. Maybe this will activate it.
awesome. You strike the pose above your head. Hmm? How long do you want to keep this pose?
At least I'm gonna keep it for a full minute.
A full minute. Awesome. What are you got? What are the rest of you doing during this full minute?
I'm gonna go over to the guy that Allaron found out. Did he have any weapons or armor?
He had a dagger. It looks to you almost like it's made out of some sort of blue amethyst. The blade is. The handle is made out of wood, a very almost like a driftwood. Looks like this was made by a seafaring folk.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to take away any like if he has any like I don't know any pouches, any pockets, any daggers, anything that looks like it might be used to do magic or otherwise. Like,
Sure, sure.
make sure he doesn't have it.
You get the sense now that you're taking this dagger away that it not only is it like a weapon that he could use to defend himself, but it probably is the arcane focus of his magic as well. He doesn't have any holy symbols or spell component pouches or any other sort of arcane foci. But so do you think that this is probably the one? As you sort of
Anything else interesting on him?
no. He seems actually quite barren, as it were. He doesn't have any other gear on him that really interests you. Maybe some food, but that's about it. He's not even like wearing shoes. This guy, he looks almost like a beggar in some ways, a beggar prince. He's down here in this cave, and he's with these fish people, and so he is a water elemental, as it were. But he definitely isn't like clothed in finery. He just looked a little wild. He's more wild. He has this wild majesty about him.
No, I'm gonna tie him up.
Yep, he's definitely tied up.
Good job.
And
I'm gonna rest.
okay, cool. You guys can. Are you taking a short rest here?
Yeah. We could maybe choose a. Maybe we should choose like a safer spot.
Yeah, there is. I sort of look around at the huge piles of dead fish.
There are a number. Technically, there are about 7 corpses in here, I believe.
Hmm. Well, maybe we can go back to the secret cave.
Yeah, maybe.
Underwater, you guys want to jump into the water and go underneath and make a camp in the secret cave?
Could Allaron kind of tow us along underwater since he has a swim speed now?
I don't have the swim speed.
He can just.
Said she don't get you swim speed.
No, he can breathe underwater.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm bad at swimming.
Yeah, I'm wearing heavy armor.
Well, maybe we should just sit in the corner then. I'm still holding the bowl up. I'm talking out of the side of my mouth.
Hmm.
Do you want to? Can we just kind of set up camp at the landing of the stairs there?
Sure.
That would at least mean they probably are only going to come at us from one direction. The only thing I don't like about this room is how
And what are you doing with your prisoner? Are you taking him to the foot of steps as well, or are you leaving him somewhere else?
I'd put him in like the corner of the landing there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna as we kind of rest here. I'm just gonna keep staring at him, waiting for him to wake up.
Got it. Yeah. So go ahead and spend your hit dice if you would like to. The hour passes.
At this time, I am going to cast aid on all of you
Nice.
after everybody's healed up, just for the sake of the math. But what aid does is it increases your current and maximum hit points by 5.
So
Oh,
you,
cool.
so everyone gains 5 HP and your max goes up by 5 for the duration of this spell. What is the duration of the spell?
8 hours
Nice.
of concentration.
And can you describe what you're actually doing, or how the spell manifests in the game world?
So I'm just going to kind of close my eyes and breathe deeply, and the light over my head, the sort of flames over my head are going to kind of calm down and kind of spread out in these bright sun rays as they reflect off of my bald head. And it's going to cast a kind of calming light on everyone as they feel nice and, protected.
And you gain a little bit of a tan. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of a tan. Hari, as he called himself, does wake up as the hour is sort of coming to a close. And he's sort of struggling against his bonds, but then just sort of sits back and sort of puts his head down dejectedly.
I will place Allaron's bowl on my head and get really, really close to him and be like, "What's your father's name?"
And he looks up at you and he says, he is the Padishah, the Padishah Mufti, the powerful wave that crashes on this shore, the storm that floats over the sea, the destruction of craft that dare to come too close. He is Padishah of this place and so much more.
Mufti sounds like something I ate for breakfast. I'm gonna scramble out of reach.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, he is. That pisses him off as he sort of like he sort of like tries. He snaps at you.
I'm gonna point my flaming spear near his face.
Oh,
I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy as
yeah.
the this little area starts to shake a little bit. My eyes burn bright white,
And
and I'm
he
going to speak in a much deeper voice than normal and say, "Do not move from your space. There are powers here greater than your body shall."
make an intimidation check, please.
Okay, that is unfortunately a need.
I will give you advantage on this roll because the role playing is so good here that I just think it really deserves it.
I appreciate it. That's an 18.
Yes. Yes. Hari is definitely cowed by this as he sort of sinks down. And he's just sort of dejected. You guys can all make an insight check if you would like. And also, who took his dagger? Just for.
I have it.
Okay, you can write down that you have Hari's dagger, or you can write down water dagger, whatever you'd like.
Alright, I'll just jot it down.
Got a 14.
Awesome.
I got a 5.
15.
Cool. Callie, you'll need to wait. Allaron, this is obviously a defeated foe. There's not much else that you're getting from him. He's obviously defeated. Yep, that's about it. He's cowed by Eleo's display, but it doesn't look like he's has much fight in him, as it were. Callie, you definitely get that as well, but there's something else here that you're picking up on, and you're not sure exactly what it is. He is dejected, not just because of the fight, but you don't know why. Elio, you do get the sense of why. You feel a certain maybe kinship to this creature. You are both half elementals, after all. Though you obviously your people are very different than his people. You get the sense that by what he's talked about and how he's acting now, that he is more dejected, not so much that he, at his defeat or his capture per se, but how those things will reflect on his standing amongst his people. He's not really scared, or wasn't rather, of you all, and or rather his literal defeat, like his death. He's more worried about like his reputation.
I'm gonna pull the spear, and just kind of set it half on the ground, kind of stand up as the glow softens off of me, and I become more like a benevolent, beaming sun. And I say, Hari, listen. There are great powers that war over this place. The summer and the winter, they have fought over this sea since the ancient times. It is no fault of yours that you were defeated in your struggle. You simply chose the wrong side in a battle of gods. We need not be enemies, though you are of water and I of fire. Truly, I see a great nobility in you. Perhaps we could find a way to work together, and in so doing restore the peace of this great and mighty land, and bring the castle beneath the sun once again. What say you? Will you die here an enemy, or will you live and grow to become a hero of your people?
Make a persuasion check, please.
Really awesome persuasion check.
Yeah. Even Callie's like, duh, he wants to be a hero.
That's a 10.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, go ahead and roll with advantage. You're just knocking it out of the park tonight, Thomas.
Okay, that's a 17.
That's quite good. Quite good. He sort of looks up as you're talking to him, and he says, I would need a place to start. I could take this place, and he sort of looks around, these halls of water. I know them. I don't know what you're talking about with these courts. I serve my father, the Padishah.
Know ye of Cloudy Shield Croton?
No.
There are beasts that have lived in these waters since before this castle even was built. And, well, he and your dad don't get along so good, it seems. If, perhaps,
He,
you find a way to speak to him,
the Padishah,
work out better.
the Padishah is not here. Not fully. If he was, this place would be very different. His power, it is unmatched in his home realm. He seeks to conquer other places, other realms. And now he is starting to manifest in this one. The portal that was powering the travel between the planes, it has been overtaken. He sent me here to secure this place for him, for his coming. But if you are powerful, if you can stop him from arriving, then I can rule this place, or at least look after it.
Ari, you don't seem like that bad a guy. And then I turn towards Callie and Allaron and I say, what do the two of you think? Should we work with him?
I try to play with him before battle, and I look at him. You had your chance. You are lucky that I am the forgiving foe.
He knows where he stands now. And I turn towards him, all fierce and glowing and flaming once again.
Yeah, basic.
Hurry! Do not betray us!
Yeah, right. He was like
Regret it.
his eyes are like narrowing at Allaron as he's like saying, "I defeated you," and like I'm gonna spare you now. But yeah, as Eleo, you turn around, it's like, "Bah!" It's just like totally freaked out.
I try to get a sense whether he is planning to betray us or not.
Make an insight check. Callie, anything you want to do?
That's a 20.
Nice roll.
Nice.
I take Rimpy out and I consult with him quietly behind my cloak. Like,
Yeah. Nice.
and we sit up and we're like, We like him.
Elio, you get the sense that he is very much going to honor your pact. This is an honorable person. You are right about that. You get the sense that he honored his sort of relationship with his father, as it were. But there's a lot of deep stuff going on there. You can see that he seems to be honestly a little abused. Like that he's sort of like dressed in rags. He has magical powers, it seems like, and had a magical, not, or rather, a arcane focus. But it's not like he's some rich noble or something like that. He's in a cave, basically. He's a cave dweller, and so almost like a hermit to some degree. But he carries himself like a noble. So there, he does have this princely air about him, even though the way he looks is kind of gnarly and savage. That being said, you get the sense that him making a pact with you, he will honor that pact.
I'm gonna cast dagger. Cut the knot with it that I tied him with, and hand it to him half first. And I'll say, "Honor your pact, Charlie, and together we can make this a place that outshines even its former glory."
And
I hope so.
he takes it and bows before you and says, "I swear to serve you as long as my father is banished from this place and you protect me."
I shall do so if you promise to protect us. We are allies, and I helped him to his feet.
He nods at that. He nods at that, and he rises up.
I say to him, "Do you know anything about this bowl?" And kind of gesture the thing on Callie's head.
He looks at it and will make his own Arcana check. As he does quite well, gets a 22. He looks at it and says, "Oh, yes, the legends speak of bowls such as this that could summon servants, elementals of water."
I probably shouldn't put it back on my head anymore.
Normally, there's a power word, an incantation that is used to summon the elemental from the bowl.
Does it say it on here somewhere? I'm gonna start flipping it around.
It's interesting. You've been sort of holding it above your head, and I get the sense that the minute that you're holding it has kind of turned into an hour that you've been holding it above your head. You're really committing to this. And as the long, or rather the short rest ends, the hour ends, you attuning to the item has in fact revealed the incantation to you. As he sort of is telling you about this, it sort of all clicks in your mind. And almost like the sound of the ocean waves, like Moana style, you hear like this incantation that is sort of very sort of just guttural, but you know it. And you think that you could say it. And you don't know what would happen exactly, but you think that you would summon some sort of water elemental that would then follow your commands. That being said, you don't know how long how often you can do this, or how long the water elemental would stay around, or what exactly the deets are. But this is the sense that you're getting.
It worked. And then I realized I'm like, oh, and it's really your bowl, Allaron. You can have it. And I'm gonna hand it to him and be like, just stand like this for like an hour.
Callie, I think it's best in your hands now. You will take care of it.
Can I borrow it?
It's yours.
A little big for a crown.
We'll share it. I put it back on my head.
It is totally like, are you wearing it like a helmet at this point? Nice. Yes. It does definitely, it is kind of big on you. Yeah, it is more a medium-sized person bowl, if you will. But so,
Turning from this ridiculous display,
yeah.
I'll go to Hari and say, "Will you need any help, or will you be able to handle things on your own with your father for now?"
He says, "My father will not take my betrayal lightly. He will."
Betray him openly, not yet.
Elio, I think we need to go to the source of this power. We need to find out if his father is indeed Krátký Šípková.
He is coming through the portal, slowly, to further up this way, and he points the way that he came.
Portal that he came from? Do I know?
You don't know, but you only know of one portal down here. So you can definitely, by process of elimination, you're pretty sure it has, like, yeah, it is a weird fake castle. You're totally right. So but you have not, you don't know of any other portals. It is odd that this powerful creature has come through the portal that you came through. You're getting, or is starting to come through. You're getting the sense that there's something more at work here, and maybe even something threatening this portal, or something that has disrupted it, or who knows what. Something ill-favored is happening. That's for sure. He says it's this way. It's past the church and and the the quarters of the leader of the trout folk. They call him the Crusher.
Will he stand down in your presence?
No, no. He is the one who told the trout folk to come with me. They serve only him now that their queen is dead.
Then we shall crush the Crusher.
Yeah.
Arian, what will you do? Will you return to your father and keep up the movement, or will you go to hide him?
Uh,
He travels with us now. In order to cleanse this place, you'll have to do his share.
I am wounded, but I could come with you.
Might he be of more use as an agent of the Sun? We could try something tricksy and make those window jerks at their own game.
What do you think, Eleo?
Yes, what are you thinking? I could try.
I'm thinking that he could wait, bide his time. And then, perhaps, he could betray them when it might be of more use to us. If he can keep his father in the dark, then perhaps we can get closer until we figure out what we need to know.
How much time are you willing to take, Eleo? We need to raise the castle and get back to Krátký Šípková.
I know, I'm just saying, he can go on ahead of us. We'll follow at a short distance. He will tell his father, or whoever, this Crusher fellow, that we've been taken care of and there's no problem. And then we'll catch him by surprise. It's like a classic maneuver.
Yes, Crusher's priests have been praying and conducting the ritual to bring the Padishah into this world. I can definitely make it to the summoning chamber where the portal is, and help you there.
Yes, for while the sun shines bright, you can hide behind a cloud every once in a while and pop out when you least expect it.
Ah, he nods.
So much sense.
He nods at that. He nods at that.
Those are wise words, Eleo.
And
Nice.
he then sort of looks at all of you, and says, "Do not go to the south. That way are more trout folk and a vicious elemental that guards the pathway. If you follow my direction, stay straight, and you will find where you need to go. Do not head towards the lake unless you wish to find the trout folks' camp, for they have made it on the far side of the lake, and it is there that they dwell."
Kind of look down at all the dead trout folk. I think we've seen enough of them. I have no
He said.
desire.
He says there are a number of them that reside in the church and with their leader, and the priests are in the summoning chamber. So I'm sorry, you will see more of them, but perhaps they will see reason. No, they won't. They're savages.
That's fine.
Here's what you tell them. You tell them we're dead, intruders. Tell them that if they ask what happened to your guards,
We killed him, and then we died.
sure.
Yes.
Orcs bravely gave their lives.
Yes. I will think I know what to say. I,
All right.
I am wounded. It is obvious that I have been in a great battle. My guards are dead. I think that I can make my way past. I will meet you in the summoning room. You can count on me.
Go with the blessing of the sun, and I cast Eagle Splendor on you.
Ooh,
Any sneaky charisma checks you might be making.
very nice.
Very, very nice.
Very
You're on
cool.
top of it today, Elio.
Definitely. His sort of skin glimmers a little bit more. And let's take one last look at the Jan, the half water elemental. Good old Hari.
He is a handsome fellow.
Hari Mufti. He is a handsome fellow. Oop,
Callie,
Callie, do we maybe reload or reconnect?
Oh, we lost Callie.
Oh, she'll be back. It's okay. She'll be back. And this is a good point to take a small break moment. Callie is traveling, but she'll be back very soon. That's why we weren't on Twitch tonight, in fact, and why you're seeing this only on YouTube. You can only get the Secrets of Hammerfast on YouTube this week. Awesome. Well, we'll wait for a second. Ah, there she is.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. Uh,
hotel internet.
Hotel internet, we were prepared for this. It's totally all right. Nothing has transpired in your absence, save we were looking at the cool illustration of Hari. He's quite striking indeed. Let us return now to the dungeons of the Padishah. What do you guys want to do? Hari runs off to the north.
Before he goes, I'm gonna tap on his knee
Mm-hmm.
before he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And when he looks at me, I'm gonna say, "Well, I'm glad you're on our side because I'm an orphan and I don't have a dad, but it looks like your dad treats you worse than I ever was. You don't even have nice clothes." And I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna give him like a little token of some kind,
Okay.
bag or a little card, and be like, "Your dad's mean."
You pull out the card that's already stuck in his side from earlier and give
Yeah,
it to him.
The Five of Hearts. Yeah.
you're our friend now.
He sort of takes it. He's like, oh, thank you, Callie. Uh, and he runs off. And he gives you a sort of a winning, not even a smile. He's actually pretty dour and stoic. He just sort of gives you a nod.
But you are a strong and mighty spellcaster. You can do it. You're a wizard, Hari.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
I need that gif of that guy.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Awesome. All right. How long are you guys waiting before moving on?
20 minutes, maybe? No.
Cool.
Yeah.
You wait 20 minutes, and then you start to follow him. Going up the stairs, what is your party marching order? Who's in the front?
Allaron's in the front.
Who's in the middle?
I think I'm in the middle.
And that leaves Callie in the back, and Rimpy. As you guys come to the next chamber, and you can see that there is a natural sort of barrier. And additionally, you can see then that it goes onwards, and you could turn to the left or keep going straight. What would you like to do?
Go straight.
Yeah. The chambers that you're heading through, number 9, you're seeing that looks like that where the trout folk were sort of encamped that you first faced. They were sort of staying there. However, in this room number 10, as you head into there, you are faced with a little bit more of a well put together camp. This looks like exactly where Hari and his trout folk were stationed. It looks like that there are some pallets on the ground here and an actual sort of like campfire. There are also a number of different like barrels full of water and bowls full of water here. And there's a small altar as well that's set against one of the walls. What would you like to do, Allaron? You're in front.
Was there anything of value at the altar?
You go over to the altar. What are you doing, Elio? You're in the middle.
I am going to. I'm going to kind of look around in the corners wherever there's like shadows or something might be hiding.
Yes.
Kind of wave my spear around to make sure there's no one hiding in the shadows.
Cool. Yeah. Could you make a perception check for me, please? Allaron, you're going to be making an investigation check. And Callie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go help Allaron. Maybe assist him investigating for like traps or
Cool.
something.
Alaron, you can make your check with advantage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
22 on perception.
Nice.
That's an 11.
11. Elio, you can tell that to your south, just the air gets a lot moister. So you can tell that there's water to the south. You don't think that that's the way to go, or rather, you could go that way, but that might be the lake that you've been told of.
Our friend said don't go south.
Did say
We're
that.
gonna go straight
Did
up.
say that.
It's good to know that he wasn't lying about that.
Did say that. You don't find any hidden creatures down here, but what you do find, oddly enough, is like a sort of like a cloth bundle that's been sort of shoved in one of the holes in the stone walls, like the eroded out holes. Callie and Allaron, you guys did very well. You can see that the altar has offerings of different types of shells, claws, like crab claws, but all the offerings are being placed around an idol, which is a jade head. The head is probably the size of like an orange, and it is a toad head. It is a stylized toad head. And you remember that the first trout folk that you faced here were all wearing these sort of holy symbols of this toad head, which you are now starting to realize may in fact have something to do with the Padishah of the dungeon. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session with our bundle of cloth and our Padishah of jade. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We do appreciate you watching our efforts. We hope you're enjoying the story. I am Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. Check me out at my website of the same name. Also, if you're in the New York City area, hire me to be your DM. Also, I will be in Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged, November 17th through the 19th. So if you are there, let me know and we can say hi. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you. We had Kelsey playing Callie. Kelsey, where can we catch up with you if we want to see more of your work?
Yeah, you can find me on my website, which is thearcanelibrary.com. And I write D&D adventures and some stuff, so there's a free one up on there that you could get if you join the Arcane Library. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And Anthony, where can we find you if we're looking for more of what you're up to?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm at I'll allow it.
Awesome. Awesome. And Thomas, where can we catch up with you?
I'm on Twitter at Soul of Twit, TWHIT.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we'll catch up with you for the next episode of Secrets of Hammerfast. Have a good one.